Hey guys, we're back with another payment gateway integration video, and this time we're gonna mix it up and we're gonna integrate a European payment gateway. This is Nexi, and today we're gonna implement their hosted checkout method that looks like this. So this is a sample store. You click and pay, and then you're going to get redirected to their hosted payment page, which looks like this. You could pay with either Apple Pay or with card. And if we try to pay with card, we're going to have to enter the delivery detail, hit pay. Then we could get 3DS authentication here. This is simulator page, but in production scenario, you'll just get a thing here that asks for the one-time password that was sent to you. So when you enter that, it's going to approve the payment. But here we get a simulator and we can choose to simulate the response. So I'm going to hit approve payment to simulate a success. Payment successful. And this is the receipt page. There you go. Okay, so let's go ahead and implement this. Starting with a new project. This shouldn't take too long. We're going to start here at the server side. This is where I code my server endpoints. This is the official guide. The first step will be to initiate this API request. I mean, here it's all over the place. So I'm going to just show you what it looks like on Postman. This is that API request. This is the URL. Here you need to put the flag that says hosted payment page. You need to put the return URL. That's where you send your customer after the payment is done. And then a link that takes the customer to see the terms and conditions for your merchant website. Here you need to set charge to true to debit the customer right away. Otherwise, you're going to have to do another API call to actually debit the customer. Without this flag, you're just going to reserve the amount, not capture it. And here you need to include the line items for your order. Give it a reference number, name, quantity, units, the price, gross total amount, net total amount. You could do like what I did and make these two or these three the same if it's one piece. If this is 2, then you're gonna have to multiply this and this by 2. And then you need to sum all the amounts and put it here in amount. So this is the total of all the line items here. This is the currency, Swedish krona, and your own order reference. You send this request and you're gonna get 2 things. You're gonna get the payment ID and then return URL. This is what you open to redirect the user to the payment page, which looks like this if you open it in a desktop. Okay, now to get this API to work, you need to authenticate it. And to authenticate it, you need to add an authorization header here, and you're gonna put your secret key here. And to get your secret key, you need to log into your Nexi portal, which looks like this. Then you want to go to company, integration, and here you're going to be able to find your live and test keys. This secret key over here is what I'm using. You can reveal it using this button. So you take that, and that's what goes on here. Yes, you just put the API key over here. You don't do bearer like other APIs. Just put the API key there as the authorization header. Okay, now let's go ahead and implement this in our backend. Here, first thing, I'm gonna generate a random order ID for my own tracking purposes. You need to populate the line items in your server, not from the client side. Then this is how you build the API request. This is the URL for the test environment. And this is the same payload that I showed you guys earlier. And this is the items array above here. And this is the sum of the gross total amount for each item in the array, which gives me the total amount for the order, currency, and the random order ID that I generated. And then this is my authorization header, secret key. Make sure you don't hard code your secret key like I did. Make sure to use something like environment variables or a secret key manager. This is just for the demo that I'm putting it like this. Then after you get the redirection URL, you want to create an entry in your database to track that order. So here I create a new entry in my database for that order. I highlight the status, created, time, URL, the payment ID from my payment gateway, from my Nexi payment gateway, the amount and the currency. And then I return to my client side the redirection URL. Now let's go ahead and use this in the client side. This is my client side code. I'm gonna go find that pay button, which is here. When I click on this payment, it's gonna call this method send payment, which is here. This is where I want to call my API to get the redirection URL. We can remove this and this for now. Over here, I'm going to import Axios so I can call APIs. And here in send payment, which is a method that gets called after I click the pay button, I'm going to call my API that I just created. This is my API endpoint. And once I get the URL from it, which is going to be the response here, I'm going to redirect to that URL. Now let's go ahead and test that. Pay, and we're getting redirected successfully. Now let's go ahead and try to pay using this. Hit pay, approve the payment. Payment is successful. We get redirected to the result page, and it says here order has been placed. This is the order ID I can look this up in my database. Let's see. This is my order database. This is the order that I just did. It says created here, even though I got redirected to the result page. So what I need to do is that I need to query the order status and then update my database after the redirection is done. For that, I need to implement a second API, which is this one. It's the same, except it's a GET request and it doesn't have a body. And you put the payment ID here. And you get this payment ID from the first request that you saw here. You also get it appended to your return URL here. Or you can do the same thing that I do and store it in your database here. So the way that I'm gonna do it is that I'm gonna use my order ID to look up the payment ID in my database and then call that API with this payment ID to check the status and then update my database. So let's go to the code for this result page. This is my result page. Here's what I'm getting that order ID. Now here in my result page, I need to add 2 state variables, one to show a loading indicator and one to store the result. Let's add, and here let's import use state and use effect. We're gonna need both. And here I'm gonna implement use effect, which allows a code to be executed as soon as the component renders, as soon as the page appears. And inside here, I'm going to implement a method that calls my server to get the payment result using the order ID, which gets appended in the URL here. Why? Because when I created the URL in this API, I appended my order ID to the return URL here. It's one way of doing it. So I'm going to grab that, send it to my server, and use that to get the result. So let's go ahead and do that. Create that endpoint. Back to the server code. I'm going to implement this new endpoint over here called payment status Nexi in here. So the way I'm going to use this API is that I'm going to put the order ID at the end of the URL of the API like this. This is the endpoint and this is the order ID. So to get this, after when the API request is sent, you need to use a line that looks like this. This will get you the order ID. Then you want to use that order ID to look up the payment ID from your database like this. For my database, I want to get the payment ID and the amount. And you're going to see why you need the amount as well. Here, after you get those, you need to open a try catch. If there's an error, handle the error. But here, you're going to call that API that I showed you earlier, the get call, which looks like this. This is the payment ID, which we got from our database. And this API is going to return an object that looks like this. There you go. And that API is going to return a response that looks like this. Now, to know if the payment is successful, you want to look at payment, summary, charged amount. And you want to check if the charged amount is equal to the amount of the order. So this equal to the amount in your database or equal to this. And that's how you can check. So I'm going to apply this logic on my server here. If the amount in my database is equal to the charge amount in the response, then I'm going to mark the order as successful in my database and I'm going to return successful to the client side. Otherwise, I'm going to mark it as failed and return failed to my client side. And that's it for this API. Now let's go ahead and implement that in the client side. Here, we need to run this API call and use effect. As soon as the page appears, let's check the status. Let's put a loading indicator and check the status of the payment. You'll do that like this. You'll create a method inside use effect, get result, sets the loading to true. And while it's loading, it's going to call the API, give it the order ID. And then once it gets a response, which is successful or failed, it's going to set that as the result and then turn off the loading so you can show the result. And here, instead of just saying your order has been placed, you can do this. So remove that button. You can say, is the page loading? If yes, then show the loading indicator. If not, then show this line that says your order number is result, which could be successful or failed, depending on what's returned from the server. That's one simple way of doing it. Now let's go ahead and refresh, and it's working. But let's try another payment so you can see if this works. Back to the beginning, pay, approve the payment. Payment is successful. We get returned to the result page. Result is loading. And this is the order ID. If we check it in the database here, this is it. You can see now it says successful. And the previous order we did, it also got updated to successful because we ran that API on it. And that's it. This is how you can implement Nexi's hosted payment checkout integration. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. If you liked it, hit like, subscribe for more content. If you want to get access to the source code that we used in this video and support the channel, check the Patreon link in the description box below. I'll see you next time.